This week on Amazingly Terrible, we're watching Strawberry Shortcake, episode number 4, Housewarming Surprise.
The Love Boat soon will be taking another trip.
Wow.
Nice. I love it when you surprise me, David.
Yeah.
I love it. You're listening to Amazingly Terrible, the podcast that didn't ask to be born. My name's Adam.
I am Matt.
Are we getting away from introducing ourselves, or
No. We have to introduce everyone all the time. I'm Matt, and this is my microphone and computer.
I'm David.
I'm Derek.
There it is.
Yeah.
Perfect.
That's it. That's the episode, guys. All right. Well, we'll see you next week.
Slam dunk.
Dunk slam.
And we have a new segment today.
Oh.
Whoa.
New segment day. I love new segment day.
Oh, man.
So I have some predictions of phrases people might say today.
Ooh.
Okay. All right.
Do you predict the phrase and the person who says it, or just the phrase, and then when the person says it, you're like, yeah, that we knew.
I predict the phrase, and then when the person says it, they earn a redemption.
Oh, nice. Nice. I like this.
This seems self-fulfilling.
Yep.
This is very cool. Well, but we don't know what the phrases are. And David, are you just assuming the worst of us, or?
I'm sorry, the worst of you.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. David is David is going to insert, I assume, his secret phrases right now.
I will insert one of them as audio a little bit later. If no one says it.
Will you just start screaming when we say the word of the day?
Mm-hmm.
Like Pee-wee Herman?
Yes.
No.
Like Paul Rubens? No? Like Paul's Rubens?
This is a good game. I like this game.
I like this game too.
Yeah.
Me too.
Because David now knows us and things that we evidently have said on more than one occasion.
He now knows
Yes.
us. It's been fucking 30 years.
Sorry, it's only been 6 for me. Fuck you, Matt.
I think I'm gamifying bad behavior, but we'll see what happens.
I think so.
Hey, man. How else are you going to reward it?
As a minor spoiler, what would a Mike phrase be? Because Mike is still on vacation, so he's not here tonight.
Yeah. What did you think Mike was going to say?
I'm not doing the person.
Yeah, he's not doing specific people.
I'm basically thinking of stuff where like, well, I shouldn't say this, but I bet someone will.
Oh, gotcha. All right. I thought
right.
you were going to be like, oh, well, Derek always says
You were like, what would Hannibal Lecter do?
cum farts or some shit. And then you're like, haha, look, he said it.
Oh, there it is.
Yep, cum farts. That's what we knew.
Viewers, this is also around the time frame that the D&D trailer's been released. And if you haven't figured it out yet, we're all big D&D geeks.
Boy, are we all excited. Just unambiguously, unironically into it.
Unconcerned.
No.
Sure, this is going to be a slam dunk. No matter what.
Backstabbing quibbles about the accuracy based on the 5e player's manual.
It just looks
Not
fun.
shouting for a tweet from Christopher Crawford to defend the shape-changing ability of certain characters with an unearthed arcana.
What I don't understand is why they're not talking about Thaco more. I want Thaco.
Oh my god, just cancel yourself.
Jesus. That's a good question. Should we go to the movie and do like an in-depth analysis of which edition they're using? What's the rules that they're using?
Excellent.
Absolutely not.
I think we discovered our next podcast.
That.
Yeah, you would. Wouldn't it be funny if it was 4E?
Made for a better movie.
There it is,
Nice.
our 4E fanboy.
Nice.
I would no.
Isn't 4E the one where essentially everybody was a mage?
Yeah.
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 Kind of. 4E was designed so that your characters could be portable across games and across digital games. So it was intended to be supported with something like a Roll20 or a VTT of some kind.
But in the end, it just sucked.
It was less popular.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think everybody was still sticking with 3.5, which technically is the Pathfinder, right?
No, 3.5 was... Pathfinder was developed out of 3.5 because of the lack of interest in 4.
Gotcha.
This is interesting. This is interesting to other humans.
It's the same thing. 4th edition of D&D was the same thing they did with Warhammer, which I believe is 8th edition. I'm looking through my book right now. But it was it just wasn't good and it wasn't popular. And then all of a sudden they came out with 9th edition, which is much better shortly thereafter.
Yeah, I mean, they rolled back to the more original rule set, basically, with 5e.
Well, eventually we will wind up doing the Dungeons & Dragons cartoon. And I'm sure we can dive much more in depth into all this. So,
yeah.
But in the meantime, I think I'm going to go to the movie list real quick. And I'm going to go ahead and add Dungeons & Dragons. The 1999 version.
Oh, damn you.
With Jeremy Irons?
With Jeremy motherfucking Irons.
Damn. Jeremy pumping Irons?
You know, he was the Pope.
I heard that.
From that one TV series about the Pope.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Was it the young Pope?
The Borgias.
Oh, that's like
about
the Renaissance era. That's not recent.
Renaissance era historical fan fiction about the
Borgia family
the corruption in the Vatican, basically. So,
sounds good. I mean, they were a fascinating family. They did a lot of fucked up, fun shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Do you think that Strawberry Shortcake, in many ways, is like the Borgia?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think that she has some, illegitimate children with her mistress, which she's not able to, publicly claim as her own because she has to maintain her virginity in order to become the Pope. So.
Wow.
All right. Starting to, edge into it a little bit.
The Fruit Pope?
Edging into the Fruit Pope, yes.
Episode title.
What did you guys like more? Watching an old cartoon so we could shit all over it, or watching the old cartoon or the old commercials that went along with the cartoon?
Oh, the commercials, hands
down. I was pretty excited to see the commercials on this watch through.
Commercials were very fun and honestly much shorter than I remember.
But we also get the Love Boat commercial right off the bat, and we get the
that's
TV
a
special.
network promotion. That's
yeah.
It's not a commercial.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, but we get those network promotions.
It's not.
At the beginning.
It's not paid ad time.
The Love Boat's all in black and white, except for that one sailor who's all in a red suit.
Oh God. Schindler's Love List.
Schindler's Boat.
But no, yeah, so it has the network promotions at the beginning, but then every other advertisement is for kids' toys. And the thing about these episodes, these what they actually called movies, these were aired in prime time.
Oh.
Yes, they were, because Strawberry Shortcake, they did not make a regular season. They made a series of specials, and they released one a year. And they made 6 of them over a period of years.
So yeah, so we're not getting any of the primetime advertising you'd usually think to see. Or even the primetime promotions, because we're not seeing any other promotion throughout the episode. It was just in the very beginning before the episode started. So, I think you're right, Derek.
Gotcha.
I don't know, it's very clear that they went to Kenner and they were like, hey, do you just want to buy all of the TV? Because we have this block of TV that you can just have all of it. And you can have one big long commercials that you put commercials in.
And Kenner was like, no, we couldn't.
No, we hate money.
No.
What would be the impact on the children, though?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. I could just see Mr. Kenner doing that.
That's right.
Mr. Ken Kenner.
Yeah, Ken, well, his last name is Nur. So Ken Nur.
Ken, no.
Yeah. No?
No. I don't know. Let's put this up to the committee. Kenner or Ken Kenner?
Ken Kenner.
Ken Curry.
God, we're so dumb. Who listens to the show?
No, you're dumb.
No, you're dumb.
So Kenner is actually not around anymore. It was absorbed completely into its parent company Hasbro in 2000, and then it was dissolved.
Mm-hmm.
So they originally did the action figures from the OG Star Wars, Jurassic Park, and Batman series.
Much like a gelatinous cube eating an adventurer, the Kenner corpse was slowly distributed over a series of years throughout the body of Hasbro.
Throughout the dungeon of Hasbro.
Yeah. If you go look at the Hasbro in its natural habitat, you'll see a dead floating corpse of a Kenner inside of it. As well as a
Hasbro
bunch of other
owns
dead companies.
Dungeons and Dragons.
Yes, they do.
Mm-hmm.
The half-digested corpse of the Wizards of the Coast is sticking out of the side of the cube. At any rate, Strawberry Shortcake. Should we get up in this shortcake, gentlemen?
Let's get up in the shortcake.
Yes.
See what's going on with the strawberries.
Seeing what's on the straw. What's on the straw, boys? Strawberry Shortcake, or as I like to call her, SS.
I have nothing against sock bats. I'm just pro-sweet cake.
She was owned by the American Greeting Card Company, and it was originally used on greeting cards, and then slowly expanded into dolls, posters, and several shows. She was originally created by Barbie Sargent in 1972-73, and she was called the Strawberry Girl or just Girl with a Daisy. In the original design, she was less themed as a strawberry creature, or the unholy product between man and strawberry. American Greetings liked this character. It was popular, so they developed a whole line of characters, and each had a dessert or fruit motif and a pet. And I didn't know this, but when they were toys, they also had scented hair to match their motif.
Weird.
Oh.
Very weird.
Weird.
Yes. Kenner licensed them and made those dolls in 1978, I believe. In 1983, Barbie won back the copyright in a lawsuit, but I think it wasn't really clear. They said, essentially, I think she sold them back to American Greetings so they could continue to develop the property, essentially, and make her money. So they reached some sort of agreement after she won the copyright for her original design back. They made 6 animated specials, released one a year from 1980 to 1985.
Wow.
And there have been multiple revivals of the Shortcakings. There was one tried in 1991. It was not successful. There was a relaunch in 2003 by Deke. This made it into a TV series, and in 2006, a movie. There was another relaunch of the characters in 2009-10 with toys from Hasbro. There was a CGI movie and a TV series on Discovery Family. You guys remember Discovery Family?
Wow.
I
Me neither.
do. I didn't. Okay.
I was going to say, it's been a hot minute. I feel like it was only in existence for 6 months before it got purchased by HBO or something.
Finally, there was a relaunch that was done. Thank God. 2021, fresh, hot strawberry shortcake, and
that was getting so many of us through the pandemic. Just the anticipation.
Yeah,
of the
just
new
the
strawberry shortcake.
And let's get pumped, boys! There's a Netflix show coming in 2023. Yeah!
Jesus Christ!
Yeah!
So they're on what, version 6 then, or is that version 5?
I think this still counts as the 2021 relaunch, so that's
okay.
Gen 5, maybe?
Gen 5. All right. Jesus.
Yeah.
I didn't know
That's
there was
insane.
such a demand for Strawberry Shortcake. I mean, I feel like the people who would remember Strawberry Shortcake and want the nostalgic factor of it are beyond the age of a remake.
No. People want strawberry shortcake for the intrinsic qualities of strawberry and shortcake. Those two things together are what is the core of the brand of strawberry shortcake.
Or they're just having kids. And they're like, I had to suffer through this when I was a child.
True.
You must too.
I mean, its corporate masters said, hey, you know what? This made money for us once. Crank it out again. We own the copyrights.
And it's still owned by American Greeting Card Company.
Is it really?
Apparently it is, yes. But most of what they do is cooperate with other other manufacturers to make or other licensing companies. So they're a little more like what we saw with Rainbow Bright, where they continue to hold a copyright, but they license it to a bunch of different people, as opposed to the way G.I. Joe and Transformers came about.
I was curious, which one came first? Was Strawberry Shortcake or Rainbow Bright?
I think Strawberry Shortcake came first because she dates back to 1972 as the character concept. Yeah.
I think Rainbow Bright, if I recall correctly when we were looking at it, I think that her earliest iteration was like 1980, 1981, something like that.
I would say Rainbow Bright's character design screams much more disco late 70s, early 80s than Strawberry Shortcake's.
Strawberry Shortcake's, she's more like a Keen design where it's like a sad little cute thing. Mm-hmm. Kind of. That's early 70s.
Oh yeah, Rainbow Bright is 100% cocaine. Like, even in the commercial, like, in the episode, they're like, it's got shiny, and there's a purple star on her cheek. Yeah, because she's been at fucking Studio 54 all weekend.
Right, yeah.
Just coked out of her gourd.
I get all my powers from these ground-up stones that I snort.
I like it like the son's the son of the owner came in and he's fucking blasted out of his mind, and he was like, guys, what if light was a person?
Yeah, and the guys completely to the fucking gills,
and the guys were like, yes, okay, yes, we can work with this. Yes, please promote us. We can make this into something, anything.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. Let me tell you about the wonderful characters of Strawberry Shortcake.
First off, you can't hear a goddamn thing about any of the fucking characters in this episode because the audio is dog shit.
It is pretty bad.
For the audio quality, especially Strawberry Shortcake, her voice was like the same tone as the background noise on the VHS tape.
It totally reminded me of those cheap old audio cassettes that you get with like Teddy Ruxpin or with a storybook.
Mm-hmm.
That was the level of the audio quality, I feel like. I would listen to those on my Fisher-Price tape recorder. But luckily, I found about these characters on the intranet.
Please tell me.
Okay, all right. Strawberry Shortcake is a bright and perky young girl. She is kind, friendly, supportive, and always ready to help a friend in need. She loves strawberries and baking. She has some spunk, but is very soft and well and sensitive. She cries often, which can be expected by her age.
How old is she supposed to be?
She starts off at 6.
So these are all small children.
Damn.
Yes, they are unsupervised small children who own their own homes and are responsible for animals. Yes. It's a boomer wet dream.
Nice.
Some of the other characters, Huckleberry Pie, who is
the only male human there.
Right. Human is used pretty loosely here, as they seem to be like some sort of squashed tree fungus. He's a friendly, perky young boy with a lot of inexperience when it comes to befriending others. We also have Blueberry Muffin. She's normally mature and the smartest girl of the group. She's knowledgeable about about everything. She sounds like just a ton of fun.
Oh, yeah.
Raspberry Tart, who was mean at first, but learned to become nicer to the others at the end. I assume this is an episode where we learn about Raspberry Tart, the new toy on offer from Kenner. And finally, we have Plum Puddin', who is a happy, energetic girl who is affectionate with her friends. That is her whole personality. The last
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interestingly, though, Plum Puddin' does not show up in this episode.
She does not. Nor, I believe, does the toddler Apple Dumpin'. I mean, Dumpling.
Apple Dumpin'?
Apple Dumpin'. This is she is a small baby
Mercenary? Girl. Oh, okay.
Yeah, who will kill for the right amount of dumping. Her chief characteristic is that she is often seen sitting.
Okay.
Apple dumping?
Wow.
Apple dumpling.
Apple dumpling.
And that is more or less the depth and level of character development we get with the intricate and complicated characters that inhabit the universe of Strawberry Shortcake.
Word. It's so complex. It's like a rich and vibrant tapestry that you have woven for us.
I mean,
prepare us for the onslaught of Strawberry Shortcake that our bodies must withstand.
Yeah, it's like a fruit Game of Thrones.
Fruit Game of Thrones. Nice. David, was that in your list?
It should have been.
Where you have to climb to the top of like the rotting
Strawberry Shortcake land.
Yeah, the rotting plum throne. You know, it's just a big, huge, enormous pile of rotting fruit. Nice. And you get to be king if you can endure sitting on it for long enough.
Nice. Without getting drunk because it's turning into Pruno.
Right, yeah. That's why all the kings went mad.
Yeah.
Shall we get into the summary?
You could just summarize this in about one sentence if you want.
Yeah. I can do that. Sentence 1, nothing fucking happens.
The end.
Exactly.
Can we talk about the commercials?
Yes. So, we get to we open on a slow pan across Strawberry Land. And the sun...
I'm going to go get a beer while you summarize. Okay? I'm here for commercial break 1.
The sun who's on break from the Raisin Bran commercials turns to us.
By the way, that guy sounds like fucking Bob Ross. That's like my only point in the entire episode.
He does.
Well, hello there, and welcome to Strawberry Land.
When he started with the voiceover, I was like, is this actually Bob Ross? I didn't look it up, so I can't tell you whether it is or not. But it really did sound like him being like, it's a happy little tree, you know, and all the wonderful things that he brought to...
Yeah.
He's a slightly more condescending tone than Bob Ross.
True. Bob Ross was 100% positive 100% of the time.
Yeah, he was very genuine.
Yeah. All right. Now I'll go get that beer. That was my only point. Bye.
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 The sun explains that Strawberry Shortcake is moving to a new house and that all of her friends are helping her, which really means all her friends are doing all the work while she is inside doing a slideshow of her journey across the world.
Well, in all fairness, when they do wind up panning out to show the work that's getting done, there's a lot of motherfuckers that are just throwing boxes.
It's true. It's true. It does not seem to be effective or efficient. But, I mean, she is essentially getting free labor, so...
Yeah. Beggars can't be choosers.
Strawberry shows a slideshow, like old school, pulls down a projector, pulls out, the freestanding slides, and they have a series of racist stereotypes of her standing next to different quote-unquote characters from around the world.
Yeah, it's a real small world vibe.
Yeah, it's very culturally sensitive.
Yeah. My favorite, it still has to be going to Little Mexicoco and meeting up with Cathay Olay and her donkey friend, Burrito.
Yeah, and they do a hat dance, I believe. Tasteful all the way around. And that leads us into the cue from the music written by Randy Newman's brother, Quaalude Newman.
Was it pack it up and move it out?
Yeah.
It's time to move to a brand new house. Pack it up and move it out.
See, that's not the lyric that I latched onto.
Oh, which one did you grab?
Everybody's got to go sometime, and this time you're the one.
Everybody's got to go somewhere sometime now. You're the one.
Yeah. Old QN has got a real dark side to him. And we get a musical montage of all of Shortcake's friends and their associated animal properties throwing around boxes.
Just throwing boxes.
Commercial break!
And straight into...
Care Bears from Kenner.
Care Bears.
We get an ad for the original Care Bear dolls, which I remember being not as big as they seem in this commercial.
I remember them being pretty big.
I remember them being big.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That leads us into commercial number 2, Hatful of Magic from Paragon Reese.
Which I had.
What?
Really?
Yes.
Nice.
I absolutely fucking did. I was blown away by this. I was gifted this, I must have been 5 years old, 5 or 6 years old, Christmas. So that would have been Christmas 88, 89 time frame.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
We had that plastic top hat was extraordinarily uncomfortable because the oval was not like a head shape, so it would ride real hard up against the front and back of your head.
Nice.
It was probably like a true circle.
Yeah, and I remember the tricks being like kind of cheapy or whatever. We messed around with them, but the one that I remember distinctly was the plastic sword through the balloon that was blown through a tube.
How did
and
it
the
work?
way that trick worked is you used one of the long skinny balloons, like somebody would do balloon art with or whatnot. And you would not show the length, like you would not show the cross-section of the tube to the audience, because if you did that, you would see that there was another tube that ran through the center, and then you used the long skinny balloon because it would inflate itself around that tube that ran perpendicular to the actual tube that you were blowing the balloon up through, so you could slide the sword through it, and then you would let it go.
Nice.
How dare it work exactly the way I figured it worked?
Yep. That's the only one I remember out of that entire trick set. But yeah, I had that. And
There were 45 magic trips in there.
Oh yeah, there was a lot of stuff. And the majority of the tricks in it were gimmick.
Yeah, they looked like garbage.
I don't remember it being very good quality. But I'm saying it wasn't like a book that taught you how to do sleight of hand, like palming, or you know what I'm saying? Like it was like, here's a deck of cards and here's a little pamphlet on like how to, hide the card. You show the front of the palm of your hand, and the card or the coin is pinned between the fingers on the back. You just don't show the back of your hand type thing. No, all of it, 100% of those tricks were some sort of gimmick magic. Two-sided something or another, or, whatever. I wish I remember any of the other tricks, but I remember the sword through the balloon one.
I'm excited to see Doctor Strange 3 Gimmick Magic from Remco.
That'd be nice. Do you remember enjoying playing with it? Do you remember like really having a good time with it?
Yeah, I remember we played with it and we did all the tricks, and so it was a fun activity,
Nice.
like to do as a kid growing up, but I don't remember any of them being like amazing. I will say this, that I liked it enough that in 2nd or 3rd grade at one of the like book fairs or whatever, and I'll have to see if my parents still have this, there was a book that was like 1,000 card tricks. And that was a legit book. That was, it was fairly thick, like phone book thick, and it was probably, I don't know, like a 4x8 or whatever. And every single one of these card tricks, that book went through sleight of hand, palming cards, card counting, stacking decks, stuff like that. I never learned any of them. I tried to learn any of them, and I wasn't good. But
this is the reason why you always beat us at what's that game? Fuck. Netrunner, yeah, there you go. Yeah exactly.
I like
because I was shuffling my shit.
Damn it.
I like this road less traveled version of Derek, who became specialized in close-up magic.
Close-up magic, yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be
Close-up
awesome.
Stage magic.
But like his life is pretty much the same. He went to the Navy, became a pilot. But also just happens to specialize in close-up magic.
Yeah. I go to Vegas and just come out on top every time.
They don't let you back in Vegas anymore, buddy. I'm sorry.
Exactly.
This version of you did some shit.
You're only allowed in Atlantic City and like not on the boardwalk.
No.
So
yeah.
The reason why I was asking is because this actually seems like the type of thing that young Adam would really want and would
Mhm.
really like want to get into. And as soon as young Adam got the box and opened it up and was like, "Oh, these are all tricks. I thought there was magic." They were just giving up and walked away disillusioned because young Adam was dumb.
I can tell you this. There was another kit that I got in 5th grade because I won like a $100 gift card to something through some science fair or something like that. I ended up winning it. I forget what the fuck it was. I don't even think it was $100. It might have been $50. And I remember going to whatever this science store was. And this is back in the mid-'90s where, like, a science-based store would sell computer games, right? Because, like, nobody was selling that sort of shit. It was still all computer. And it was down between X-Wing versus TIE Fighter. So whenever that game came out, so maybe 96, and a home chemistry kit. And I was like, I won't get the video game. And I get the home chemistry kit. I think I did one experiment out of that.
Yeah.
And I got X-Wing versus TIE Fighter shortly thereafter and played the ever-living shit out of that game.
Oh, yeah.
Chemistry sets
That's
were
a
the
good one.
worst when you were a kid.
Oh, my God. As somebody who is an engineer who went through a lot of engineering fucking courses, I hated chemistry. I absolutely 100% despised chemistry.
That's the
Fucking hated
difference. That's the difference between you and your Mandela effect close-up magic version. He didn't get an engineering degree.
He's a chemist.
Yeah, he's a
He's a
chemist.
chemist.
And he does
chemist
close-up
is
magic.
Nice. Now there was like a mad scientist set that was a lot like this, or a lot like the Home Science kit, where like,
Yeah.
you just sort of make slime and like make other like fun things that look like mad scientist experiments and inventions. I got that in like 1987, and I remember having a really good time playing around with that thing.
Mm-hmm.
So
Well, it sounds like that's mostly just like, mix this goo powder into water.
it's
I
primarily
got more
that.
out of this magic hat than I did out of that chemistry set. So, and it was, when I saw that pop up, that was like instant nostalgia right there. And I was like, man, I wish I could find an actual intact one of those to see what the 45 tricks were, and to
Nice,
see
yeah.
how cheap they were. And
Mhm.
I remember the balloon one being fairly cheap, but it would be just interesting to see,
Okay, well, moving on.
Mantech.
Yes, the next is an advertisement for a toy I have never seen or heard of before, and
Yeah.
that is the Mantech Robot Warriors from Ramco.
Mantech.
And these are essentially G.I. Joes or He-Man type figures, but all of their arms and legs are interchangeable and click into different sockets.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they have various accoutrements that can be attached to them in various different configurations.
Because they have a lot of extra holes.
Yeah.
They do. Those Mantechs got a lot of holes in them that need to be filled. by
From
legs.
Ramco.
From Ramco. The fun thing is these commercials. This episode aired in 1983, and I have to assume that these are some of the original commercials based off of really the Love Boat and what we were seeing as the other promotional thing beforehand.
Well, it
So-
aired in March 31st, 1983 in New York City and April 1st in Los Angeles, California.
So
This
This
is important.
this is pre-Transformers.
Preformers.
This is pre-Formers. So
Ugh.
that's interesting to see, like the Mantech doll coming out, and I'm pretty sure that it was probably quickly supplanted by Transformers when that came out the next year.
This is interesting because I know there was another toy that was basically like this that was much more like a G.I. Joe and was basically based on that format, and they had like all kinds of guns and backpacks and different things that would plug into the different holes. And I think they had a cartoon. Do you
They
guys
did.
remember this?
They did.
It was like called Capsules or
It's on our
Cartons
list.
or something.
It's actually on our list. I think it's like some sort of space-based random guys with backpacks.
Essentially it's buy a lot of shit. Get your parents
Yeah.
to buy you a lot of shit because one toy is boring.
Exactly.
Back to the show. The son tells us what we already know, but his attention is diverted to the villains of the piece. We have Sour Grapes, who is an aged dilettante with a pet snake, and the Peculiar Purple Pie Man of Porcupine Peak. And they live in... this took me a while to figure out. They live in a place called the Pie Tin Palace, which looks like a massive stack of pots and pans, and the region that they're in is called Porcupine Peak.
Porcupine Peak, yes.
Mm-hmm.
I got that one. The peculiar purple pie man of Porcupine Peak.
Yes. Which does seem like the name a porn star would give to their dick.
The peculiar purple pie man, or just Porcupine Peak?
Oh, it might be two. It might be two guys. We might be seeing a DP here.
Nice.
Porcupine Peak does not sound as good.
It does not. It does not.
I mean, it depends on what you're into. David, are you into that?
No, what I thought was the adults here have a very rescuer style of animation.
Okay.
Yes. They're very lanky.
Yes.
They bicker because they hate each other, apparently.
Yeah, they seem to be at odds the entire time they're interacting. So.
Yeah, it's unclear whether or not they're like a married couple. It seems platonic for the most part, but they certainly do not like each other and are always trying to one-up each other. Meanwhile, Strawberry Shortcake drives her trike to her new house.
Strawberry Shortprick drives her...
Sorry, Freudian slip. SS drives.
SS.
Yeah, she drives her trike to her new house, essentially leaving her friends to travel with the baggage like they are servants.
Exactly. All while the sun god Ra slowly smiles upon them, nodding his approval.
Right. But they are so brainwashed by essentially her cult leadership that all they talk about is throwing her another surprise party.
Yes, and how they want to meet all of these great characters that she has met all over the world in her travels.
And that they're going to invite each of these international competition contestants to compete for who loves her most. And each child is going to bring a recipe to the party.
Yes. Indeed.
And they are overheard by a berry bird. And we quickly learned that the PPP of PP has taught the berry birds to repeat everything that they hear.
Nice.
Yeah. And then he and Sour Grapes conspire to steal all the recipes and ruin the party.
Indeed. And we do get a sweet little exterior shot of the new house.
Yes.
And it is
the new playset.
Massive.
It is pretty goddamn banging.
It's an upgrade for a 6-year-old, especially.
Yes, exactly.
With evidently so much disposable income on a trip, she can go to Mexico, to the Far East, which we're assuming is China. I don't think they actually say.
Yeah, I don't think they say.
France, the Netherlands,
the UK.
Is that where the two twins are from?
Yes, that's
UK,
where
yes.
Lemon and Ada are from. And let me just say real
From
quick,
Piccadilly Circus.
before anybody else gets to it,
Piccadilly!
those twins are fucking, right?
They're children.
Uh-huh.
Are you inferring each other or just like they're sexually active?
No, each other. There's definitely something peculiar about those twins.
Uh-huh.
And their relationship.
They finish each other's sentences, so they're maybe in sync in other ways. That's a good call. This is where I was talking about essentially like it was created by boomers and embodies boomer values. She takes long international vacations, is upgraded to her second home, and is surrounded by friends who are exactly like her and don't seem to work. So,
yes.
Yeah, seems like, yeah.
Seems like a boomer's paradise.
Take that, boomers. In your face.
Shots fired.
Now that you are old and have no power, I can speak to you. Thusly. They don't have any power, right?
No, they're not desperately clinging to every scrap of power they can possibly find.
Right.
No.
Squeezing that voting block for every juicy little vote.
For every...
But this is the point where the boomers were like 30. They were younger than we are when this came out.
Yeah, and they were already on their goddamn second houses.
Yep.
You guys aren't in your second house?
Shut up.
What? I'm not either, so it doesn't matter.
And suddenly we are in the surprise party. Each of her friends appear and introduce all of her international friends.
There's no continuity of time in this. They're just like,
Yes.
we're just going to phone some shit in, and people from, I don't know, fucking 19 hours worth of plane ride away are just going to show up.
Just going to show
All
up.
at the same time. You have to wonder where they were staying. You know, like, did they all just come off the plane? at the same time? Was their timing that good, or were like they staying at the other fruit creatures' houses for a good solid 6 weeks in order to get the timing right?
Well, I also like the fact that they all have fresh baked goods. So I like the idea of them actually coming directly off the plane into the house with fresh baked goods.
Yeah, just with a basket with a little cloth over the top of it to keep the biscuits fresh.
Exactly.
For their 12-hour plane ride.
Well, it was a different era then. The TSA restrictions were not quite as bad.
Yes.
So.
Plus, they pumped in fresh, humidified air in case you happen to be traveling with a big basket full of biscuits. That was just the time.
Yeah. And it is fun that everybody gets introduced individually.
Oh, you must be here to see strawberry sweet cakes, 'cause you are a 12-year-old girl and a donkey.
Mm-hmm.
And then the twins get introduced, and the twins don't even deign to walk into the house. They just sit outside with their fucking basket. They didn't even bring any baked goods.
These two limey gets.
These fucking
because they know
lazy
British
ass.
food isn't the best.
Yeah. They were like, we didn't want to bring you garbage. What they do have is a basket, and apparently they are going to put the recipes in this basket. Commercial break!
They said they hope that it's big enough, and I think that right before the commercial break, we do see the head of the PPP of PP pull in and basically say, oh, they're going to be putting recipes in that basket. Bam, cut commercial.
Okay, here we go.
Creepy Play-Doh.
Yeah, Play-Doh, Count Creepy Head and Friends from Kenner. This one kind of boggled my mind a little bit, especially when they exploded the head of the creepy count.
It looked awesome.
Mm-hmm. I remember this.
I wish I had this thing as a fucking kid.
I'm pretty sure I did have it. I remember this very clearly.
At first, I fill your face full of red blood Play-Doh, and then I'm squishing out your eye.
Yeah, okay. So the toy is one of those Play-Doh extruders.
Yes.
Yeah.
Only the nozzle is the head of a humanoid. It has several outlets like the eyes and mouth and ears.
Yeah. You put a little sleeve on top of it, and the sleeve shapes the Play-Doh, so it's like flesh going around the skull.
And it's a little Play-Doh condom, and then you pump in the Play-Doh, and it assumes the shape of the condom.
But it's so much more fun to play without it.
I never really understood Play-Doh at all, so it seems like everything that toy did was thoroughly explored in this, 8-second commercial.
Oh man, I loved Play-Doh as a kid. We had the little Play-Doh noodle makers and the little bake sets, and you made little Play-Doh burgers, and then your Play-Doh went from being yellow Play-Doh and green Play-Doh
to being brown
Play-Doh to being some form of brown Play-Doh because it all got mixed together.
Brown or a poop green. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I also remember, and I don't know, I'd have to look at what I guess respectively the cost of Play-Doh were. I remember as a kid getting new Play-Doh was never something that my mom would be like, oh no, that's too expensive. So I think back in the day, Play-Doh was fairly cheap.
Probably very expensive, yeah.
You can make it at home. It's not complicated.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, but that requires cleaning up after idiot kids.
Yeah. I also have fond memories of playing with Play-Doh. Same sets, too. Pretty much have the exact same stuff.
Did you have the one where I was saying the spaghetti maker where it was almost like a garlic press? You loaded the Play-Doh ball in, you just extruded
you put
it
had a little star on the front, or it had the little tiny pasta holes, or it had
you could make a
rainbow.
tube. You could make you could essentially make all the
Well, you could make a tube.
The tube is fucking bucatini. You could make angel hair, you could make spaghetti, you could make fettuccine, linguine, bucatini, you name it. You could probably fucking...
You're saying Play-Doh was an Italian propaganda for their cultural dominance.
I know how to make a lot of pastas because I played with Play-Doh.
Nice.
They all taste like disgusting salt and goo.
They all taste like salty Play-Doh, but they look good.
Then we have Rose Petal the Orchid Doll from Kenner. This one kind of took me aback because it seemed like a very fully formed, imaginative flower-based world that was
Yes.
very similar to our fruit-based world, in which there was an ongoing conflict between Rose Petal and some sort of horrific spider woman. And I kind of want to see that cartoon.
See, is that an actual thing?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I think we're seeing the extent of the thing that it is.
So you said Orchid Girls.
Rose Petal, the Orchid Doll.
Orchid Doll.
Yeah. And then finally...
I want to keep Safe Search on for this one. Oh, no. I'm going to erase my history.
Jeez. And finally, we have our callback of callbacks. It's Rainbow Bright with
Rainbow
face
Bright.
tattoo from Mattel.
That's right.
Shiny dress.
Aha. She looks cheap as shit. And Rainbow Bright, the whole selling point essentially is, I feel good now.
Yeah. So they obviously had like lithium or LSD or
Yeah.
heroin inside of it. Something like
There's
that.
an SSRI inhibitor that it just leaches into your skin, and
Exactly.
that affects your dopamine levels.
And if you lick the star, that's actually like getting a concentrated hit. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, absolutely not. That was 100% cocaine.
All roads lead to cocaine.
They couldn't afford real drugs.
Like I said earlier, Rainbow Bright was 100% cocaine.
Mm. I do want to do a version of like strung out Rainbow Bright after the party is ending at Studio 54.
It's like the day after when the Molly's worn off and she's burned through all of her dopamine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just crashing hard.
I'm thinking more like, very late 70s, early 80s. The scene is starting to change. She's aging out of it.
Gotcha. There's like a lot more folks walking around with like switchblades and leather jackets.
Yeah, right. Because that's what followed disco. Knife fights.
Exactly.
It would directly from disco to the West Side Story.
That's right. I watched The Big Deuce or Deuces or whatever it was called.
I love that show.
The Deuce.
Yeah.
It was a pretty good show.
I really enjoyed that show. Any Sam Simon, I'd watch that.
Nice.
The Sun tells us that the kids are playing hide and seek, which is one of the few times where listening to the Sun is actually useful, because otherwise you would not understand what was going on in the next couple scenes.
Yes.
At this point, the PPP of PP sneaks into the house, and we see what terrible situational awareness Shortcake has.
Yes. But we get another good look at the house, too.
Yes.
And this is when I was really like, damn, girl.
I
You
would-
spent a ton of money on this place.
The finishing alone.
Yes. Well, yeah. Yes, because she has strawberry-themed furniture, which probably isn't that big of a deal. You can probably get that off of Etsy pretty easily. Strawberry-themed wallpaper, which is probably the cheapest wallpaper you could possibly find.
Yes, but it also tastes like strawberries.
But then she had strawberry-shaped skylights
Yes.
that opened. And that's when I was like, fuck.
And fucking running boards everywhere in this place. And
Yeah.
huge trim. Crown molding.
She just went nuts with it.
Yeah. Decked out. I don't know what this 6-year-old is doing, but it is working.
Well, cocaine. She's stealing
Yeah,
cocaine.
she has tons of money.
Well, I think that is a good point, though. Rainbow Bright is the cocaine dealer of the cartoon world. I think Strawberry Shortcake might be more like, I don't know, maybe she is Molly.
I don't know. I like her better with the Borgia's idea, where she's more like a power broker. Like, it's not so crass as drugs, She's like manipulating people and pulling strings with this group of friends, and that she's like slowly bleached all the money out of them.
So all of them were like living and like destitute.
Yeah, but they're so happy about. They're like, let's throw her a party. Oh,
nice.
The pieman sneaks into the kitchen, eats all the treats, and then tries to hide under a layer of whipped cream. But he's quickly discovered as all the kids pop out of their hiding place, and he absconds with the recipe basket.
Now, all the kids pop out of the hiding space, and this is when I thought either these kids don't know how to play fucking hide and seek, or maybe they're on like some next level shit.
Yeah.
With
Where they all coordinated.
Because they all coordinated, they all went to the exact same place. And what I like to think is that Strawberry Shortcake was like, let's play hide and seek, and nobody wanted to fucking play.
Right.
So they were all like, okay, we're all going to move the party into the pantry. We're going to hang out in here and hang out. And then when she finds us, she's going to find us all at once. So she's not going to know who to call it. So we're all just going to give up on the game right after that.
Right.
So we're just going to hang here.
I like that.
Except for the twins, who went off to do their own thing.
Yes.
In that fucking basket. Again,
they were hiding in the basket.
there's something going on with those twins. I'm just saying.
At this point, Shortcake summons her dread familiar, Filbert Wormy III.
Filbert Wormy the Third.
Who's
This fella, this is my jam. This dude.
is incomprehensible.
Yes, exactly. My type of formally incomprehensible.
And he's also very fast. So she mounts him, and they engage in pursuit.
I like how the strawberry shortcut was labeled. And fucking
Yes.
Pie Man's like, oh yeah, that's my road.
Right,
I'm never
yes.
going to try the shortcut, which might get me home quicker because it says shortcut. No,
Well,
I'm just going to.
And this gets me to a classic line from a Criterion movie collection movie, Road Trip, where
You're an idiot.
Strawberry Shortcake actually does not encounter any type of obstacle in the shortcut. Thus, the shortcut should just be the way.
Right. Yes. It may be something where, Shortcake exists in a sort of like strawberry themed, slightly parallel dimension that is in sync with our dimension. And only she can see all this strawberry themed bullshit, including the shortcut. Whereas everyone else needs to travel through mundane space. But it's not much better. It's just a slightly better. It's not like going into the warp. It's like, okay, well, it's just a little bit better, and you come out and you smell like strawberry cough syrup.
So you're saying
Nice.
that her house doesn't have all of that strawberry themed stuff in it.
Oh,
and
yeah.
And in the real world, it's a bit different.
It's like a
Yeah.
haunted house, essentially.
She's
Like a burnt out, condemned old house.
mm,
And she's just seeing it through her own augmented reality.
right, and all these friends who think are all like fruit flavored are all like junkies.
Or social workers. Yeah.
Yeah. At any rate, the son realizes that the two limey gets are hiding in the basket, and that the PPP of PP has kidnapped them. But it is okay, because Filbert beats PP to the gate of the Pie Tin Palace, but Sour Grapes distracts him, and PP passes them and escapes into the palace, and the gate closes.
And is this a time frame when the clouds obscure the sun?
Yes, and he can't communicate that the children have been kidnapped yet.
Yes.
But this, I think, is the worst example of nothing fucking happening.
Yes.
They were desperate for some content here, and there's really no change. We are in the same situation for the rest of the episode.
Yeah, pretty much, what are we, 2/3 of the way through the episode? Something like that?
Yeah.
And this is all just the setup in order for us to have some sort of conflict.
But don't worry, it will be resolved very easily and with minimal effort.
Yes.
Yep.
Now,
I was expecting some sort of large conflict resolution to go on. No.
No.
now, this was one of my fun parts, was when Sour Grapes grabs the snake and obviously hits the snake's erogenous zone because he immediately gets long and hard. And for a good 2 minutes, that is just one hard snake.
You have no idea how snakes fuck, do you?
You gotta get them hard first, right?
Not if you do it right.
Uh-oh.
Back with her friends, Shortcake realizes that the berry birds are repeating everything they hear. So she and her friends teach the birds a song. And to be fair to the Purple Pie Man, it is a very annoying song.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It is.
I don't even really know what it was about. It is a series of squeaks and beeps.
I don't think you can know what it's about. I think your brain protects itself
Yeah.
by blocking that memory from going from like short-term into long-term memory holding.
So we're saying like in the fruit dimension, the shortcake dimension, sound and music take the form of like a fifth dimensional H.P. Lovecraftian object, where if you were truly to behold it, you will be driven strawberry insane.
Exactly. And the problem is that the PPP of PP, since he's been there for so long, that particular mechanism in his mind is diminished. So it's actually starting to affect him pretty badly. So
right, because the birds fly back and annoy the purple pieman
into giving up. And I feel like this is much the same way as any father would react when their kids start coming up and start singing this song at them after watching this fucking cartoon.
I literally was going to say that this felt true to me in that being annoying is the chief weapon of children.
Nice.
He and Sour Grapes fight over giving the recipes back, and in the scuffle, the basket falls, only to be saved by a series of real Rube Goldberg-esque coincidences and end up on top of a massive glass bottle.
Yes. And it's all because the PPP of PP and Sour Grapes both stepped out on a non-load-bearing spoon at the same time.
Yes.
And it gave way.
It was cantilevered. It was a cantilevered spoon, like
exactly.
Like a good architect.
It was load-bearing because she mentions it won't hold two of us. So it's load-bearing enough to hold one of three alive creatures that live... 3 alive terrestrial creatures that live in that wine bottle.
You're right.
So,
technically, I believe that kind of architectural feature is called precarious.
Yes. Poor design.
Mm-hmm. The son informs the shortcake and her cohort that the twins are in the box. Commercial break! We get the Care Bears plastic figures from Canada.
Yes. And this is when I felt like this dad was a direct reflection of the PPP of PP.
Oh, his line read could be replaced with "kill me."
Yeah. Yes.
Very easily. He's either a very bad actor or like the commercial director was just like, really sell it to me. You're really happy to see these munchkins.
You're really happy to see these children bringing you plastic globs of random garbage on a tray for your birthday breakfast.
Right.
Which consists of nothing but cereal and orange juice.
The paper was there. The wife brought the paper, so.
That's right.
Yeah.
So,
actually, that wouldn't be too bad. I would.
All the hours you spend slaving away in the financial district over a hot pile of stocks.
Yeah.
And this is what thanks you get from your family.
All the many hours
Lap it up.
You've spent going down to the massage parlor that's in the bottom of the building to relieve that quote-unquote stress. Next up, we have the Ewok dolls from the Kenner Star Wars Return of the Jedi collection, which is the most formal, designery name for a bunch of garbage toys.
Well, what's funny is, didn't they make an Ewok TV show? I thought these characters were from the Ewok TV show.
Yes, I was going to say, these are the characters from the TV show, not from the movie.
Well, they were from the movie, because Wicket W. Warwick...
Wicket was in the movie, but I don't think the princess... I don't think the Princess Ewok was.
She didn't have as prominent a role, that's for sure.
Also, this is the first time I realized that Wicket was Wicket W. Warwick, or Warwick. Mm-hmm. And Wicket was played by Warwick Davis.
That makes a lot of sense.
Coincidence?
No, it seems like definitely not. It seems like just outright name theft.
Yes. Yeah. Warwick Davis should actually sue. He should get his money back.
Do you think that maybe he has a back end deal like Alec Guinness? Like he was the only one who thought, be like, you know what? Yeah, you can name it after me, but I get 10%.
Well, in all fairness, I think he was 9 at the time. he was like a kid at the time.
Oh dear.
So, but
yes, there's actually a specific behind the scenes movie-ette about that actor getting the part of Wicket.
Oh yeah. How it was? They were doing filming in the UK, and his aunt or grandmother heard a casting call where they were looking for little people, and she's like, "Well, my kid's little. Let's go out."
I would like it better if the story was his aunt was taking him to
Him.
Yeah, his aunt was taking him to the interview, and she accidentally broke the top off a mop, and it landed on top of him. And Lucas was like, "That's it. That's the look we've been looking for.
That's what we're going to be going for." Well, you do know that the Endor was actually supposed to be a Wookiee planet. In the original script, he was actually going to have the planet of the Wookiees and not Ewoks, but then they realized it was going to cost way too much money for the full-size Wookiee costumes.
Yeah, due to budget cuts, they cut them all in half.
Yeah, and they created the Ewoks. Yep.
That seems apocryphal, but you know what? I'm not up on my inane Star Wars lore.
I think now it's all inane, so...
At any rate, we get the feeling that this is aimed at younger kids, and that leads us right into Cabbage Patch Kids Babyland General Hospital Dollhouse.
I would like to interject before we get to Cabbage Patch Kids.
Babyland General Hospital Dollhouse?
They're talking about how they hear speeder bike people coming up, and it's a dude on a bicycle, and then they escape on these four-wheeled downhill racer carts. Yeah. I had one of those as a kid. It's the second item in this. Yeah.
Did you grow up in 1957?
It's solidly in New England in the 80s. No, and we built them too.
Yeah.
They were unsafe as fuck, and they were awesome because we built them. Most of the wheels we had on them were wheels that we had around the house. We started out with training wheels, excess training wheels off of bicycles, and then we quickly realized that was super unsafe. But yeah, it was steered with a rope that was attached to essentially a bolt run through a bunch of washers onto the front thing, and we would ride them down this big ass hill in front of our house, and we'd have like our bike pads, our bike helmets, and our like elbow pads and wrist guards and stuff from rollerblading that we had as kids, and we just ride these things around. And you get to the bottom of the hill, and you're like, "Oh fuck, I got to drag it all the way up." You know, it's a sled without snow, but they were awesome. And when I saw that, I was like, "Oh my god, I had one of those as a kid."
My buddy Ian.
It's my second nostalgic.
This is how much college was a flashback to childhood. My buddy Ian did the same thing when we were in college, except he retrofitted a tricycle and an ultra extended the front to hold a bicycle wheel, and then built out the back so that people could stand on the rail.
Wow.
Then he rode that down the hills in Providence.
That's awesome.
So the Pieman and Strawberry Shortcake both start parallel efforts to save the limeys. The kids pile up into a massive stack, and the Pieman uses Sour Grapes as snake and to hand the basket to Shortcake. And then the Berry Birds carry away Pieman, Sour Grapes, and the snake. And the sun sets, and the kids return to finish their party at Strawberry Shortcake's house. And each international child does a national dance with Strawberry Shortcake in a beautifully multicultural panoply.
Very culturally sensitive multicultural panoply.
Yes. A questionable. Clearly there to fill out time. Repeating dance cycle.
The twins emerge from the basket all sweaty and moist.
They didn't even notice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, I'm pretty sure they're not even twins. I think they just tell people they're twins, just so nobody really questions the amount of time they spend together.
Oh, like the White Stripes?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly like the White Stripes.
What did we think of this steaming pile of garbage?
It was mind-numbing.
Yeah.
Inane. Of course, again, like a lot of the things we watch, the quality of the transfer onto YouTube was not very helpful.
It was, honestly, that was kind of endearing. I found the quality of the transfer and the, artifacting to be endearing and
give it more of
fun.
a warm feel.
Yeah.
I wish the audio had been better.
Yeah.
The audio is the biggest thing,
but
yeah.
The VHS tracking and everything else like that, I agree, Matt. That was the best part of it. And the commercials.
And the commercials.
The rest of this was...
the withering effects of age is the best thing about this cartoon.
It was bad. It was fucking awful.
It was not good. I will give you that. It was solidly constructed and paced. Like they clearly were like, okay, we'll do this beat, we'll do this beat, we'll do this beat, and that's our story. But it was so boring. Nothing happened.
Yeah, and nothing happened in a uninteresting way.
It took them a year to make this.
Yes, that's the sad part. It's the fact that they were releasing these every year. It's only 30 minutes. They had a year to write the script, and this is what we got.
Yeah, I'm mad.
It really seems like maybe they like farmed the script writing out to like some college students, and the college students were like, "Oh, this is going to be the final. I don't got to worry about it till the end of the year, or the end of the semester." And then it's like 2 days before, or the night before it's due, really, and they're just coming down off of their ecstasy parties. Whatever college kids do nowadays.
Yeah, and they're like, I got a trick, and they set word to 1.8 point spacing. So,
exactly.
It's a little bit more than double spaced, but it's hard to visually tell the difference.
And then, like, put in Times New Roman, because it was the largest font.
Yeah.
And then, like, did multiple tablatures for, like, anytime dialogue changed. Yeah.
Right. And voila, a script.
And then they just sort of pounded it out all in one night and said, good enough.
It did not have verve or esprit.
I just wonder if the peculiar purple pie man, like, why did they make the bad guy a baker?
I believe in the first episode, I think he wants to buy strawberries from Strawberry Shortcake or something. There's some sort of like where he wants to acquire something she has, and
with money.
Yeah, like a fucking capitalist piece of shit.
Capitalist bastard.
Unlike our pure boomer creators.
Hey, they went to a yogi retreat in India, and that's when they learned the importance of multiculturalism.
Yeah,
and diversity.
And the animation, the backgrounds are nice, but the animation isn't interesting or nice enough to make up for it.
Yeah. The only cool thing about this entire episode was that worm. And also the thought that the sun straining the way that he did was actually sending out solar flares to heat up the atmosphere to cause the clouds to disperse.
Yeah.
So ultimately this planet's doomed.
Yeah. I like that he was baking the planet in radiation to like try to burn off its atmosphere the way it did to Mars.
That's the only solace that I actually get from all this.
Yeah.
Maybe this is Mars. We don't know.
You think he was like doing that, and every time he's like shearing off a layer of the electromagnetic magnetosphere. So like there's
just
no
like
more...
hitting it and blowing it apart real quick so that we can get pelted by some cosmic rays.
Yeah.
That's where dinosaurs came from.
I like the idea that Strawberry Shortcake Planet no longer has magnetic poles due to the sun's efforts.
Well, if that was the case, then the atmosphere would just burn away.
Yeah, well, eventually, yeah.
That's what happened to Mars.
Yeah. Take that, Mars.
And this is the reason why the next episode of Strawberry Shortcake, they build a device to tunnel into the center of the planet so they can restart the core, like in the classic Criterion Collection movie, The Core, so that they can protect the planet from cosmic rays.
Stanley Tucci was in that.
Stanley Tucci was in that. He played like the anti-hero. Yeah.
I have so much respect for that guy, but he was in that movie.
That's right.
He's also in all the Transformers movies, so I don't know why I respect this guy, to be honest.
Then I had that one guy that played Punisher that one time. Briefly.
That's fine.
So it's fine.
That's fine. You've established your street cred. Okay.
Nice.
So I have a question for the fathers here.
Yes.
Which toy from the commercials would you buy for your children?
Because we know we're not letting your kids watch this shit.
I let my kid watch it. I said this multiple times. She tapped out at about fucking minute 20 of this nonsense.
Which toy from the commercials? On honestly, the fucking evil Spider Queen from Rose Petal, the Orchid Thief, or whatever it is, was pretty fucking sweet. She's got like 4 arms and like a horrible distended body. I like it.
My child's at the age where her favorite toy is a drumstick. So,
yeah.
A single solitary drumstick. Yeah.
I'd just probably get a Rainbow Bright and a fucking De Tomaso Pantera and a brick of Coke.
Gotta bring them up right.
That's right. Here's your wheels, kid.
Yeah. Go get me a pack of smokes.
Yep. Marlboro Reds, please. We'll cut the filters off.
Now, I was curious.
Jesus.
Damn. Just give some lucky strikes.
Ugh.
Question I have for everybody is, which of the characters did you most identify with in this series?
I mean,
oh my god,
our options are pretty limited. Probably Sour Grapes, to be honest.
Yeah.
She kind of does nothing and is snarky, so I'd like to think I'm doing that. And you loved the worm.
Well, I'd like to think that I was the worm, but I'm pretty sure I'm that dog in the very beginning that was trying to get the hell out of the house by just pulling as hard as he could at his owner. So,
nice.
Yeah, what was that kid's name? It was like Huckleberry or something.
I think it was Huckleberry, yeah.
Huckleberry Pie?
Yeah.
Because I think he's one of the regulars.
I think I'm him because he seemed really bored by everything that was happening in this show.
Disinterested.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Derek, who would you be? The son?
None of them. This is so fucking bad, dude. I hated this.
You're the dad in the Care Bears commercial where you're just like, fucking kill me.
It's like, fucking shoot me.
Nice.
So, David.
Yeah.
Do we need to decide on whether or not we keep this on the list?
I like it. Well, I don't. Well, who cares what you don't like? I care.
That is the next segment.
That is the segment we've been waiting for.
Oh, Jesus.
The segment we call Matt Tells Us That We're Worthless.
And that we have to continue watching garbage.
Yes. That we deserve to be treated the way he treats us.
Strong disagree. I'm going to say, let's get rid of it.
Wow.
Because there are so many other Rainbow Brights we could be watching. This is version 1. We got 5 versions of this shit. Come on.
You want to
Let's
move
do
on.
it.
I think there's strawberry meat on these strawberry bones. It's just dripping off. This was a panoply of terrible.
Yeah, but was it amazing?
Yeah, but like,
you're right. Now
generally the ones that have been terrible that we keep are the ones that we watch, and there's a reason for, like, at the end of it we had fun watching this.
No.
Like I said, this is a fucking synonym for the last 3 weeks of my life.
This is a
Just
chore.
Steaming, runny
It
turd
was a chore.
sandwich.
Definitely a chore.
Yeah. By the way, get vaccinated. Don't get COVID. It's fucking stupid.
Yes. All right, I agree. I'm on board to get rid of it.
Woohoo!
Fucking trash.
David,
Yeah.
screw you and your vote. We've already decided. You don't count.
David, you have the most important vote, and
Yes.
we'll keep it if you sell us to keep it.
That's true. Matt is easily swayed, if you haven't noticed.
No, that's not true.
Yes, it is.
No, okay, you're right. David, what is our next segmentation?
Yeah, David, are you going to sell us on keeping it or what?
Oh,
Come on,
no.
man.
No, I'm definitely not going to sell you on keeping it.
David, what's could you hook us up with one of those there segments?
But a juicy one. We want a juicy one.
I hear the first one's free.
So next is Redemption.
Oh,
Ba, ba, ba. Did anybody hit any of your key phrases?
No, no one did.
Do you want to reveal what your key phrases
oh
were?
yeah. Tell us what our phrases were.
So I was really surprised no one talked at all about Strawberry Shortcake's pet.
Oh, the cat, the
cat.
the pink cat.
Yes.
Yeah, the shit-eating cat. Yeah. There's
When
a
does
scene where it had brown stuff all over its face.
Oh, okay. You think it was eating its own excrement, which cats do that.
Yeah.
It's a survival instinct.
What about the cat, though?
Okay, you did notice it was pink.
Yes.
You think that there was going to be a vagina joke there?
Yes.
Okay.
See. Makes sense.
That's fair.
I'm
Fair
actually
enough.
surprised
Yeah.
at this as well. I'm a bit
Yeah.
disappointed.
Yeah.
I think I just hated this enough that I wasn't even looking for the like
The low-hanging
absurdity
fruit?
of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just-
like it was such a chore watching this. I was like, this is fucking dumb.
Yeah,
And
it just destroyed all the testosterone in your body, and you're like, I can't even think
Well,
about
just
genitalia.
The normal nonsense. I'd be like, hey guys, that's a pink cat.
Hey.
You know?
Hey.
No, I was just
Hey,
like,
That's
I've
a
got,
salmon-colored vagina.
I've
Yeah.
got 21 minutes and 32 seconds left of this. my life.
And you just hear in the background the 24
Yeah.
dunk.
Or
dink,
whatever the
dunk,
dad said. You made my day.
As he's got
With
like a pistol in his left hand, like slowly raising it to his temple.
Yeah.
With the 24 like countdown timer going. Yeah,
Exactly,
Fuck
yeah.
Kiefer Sutherland over there. Damn it! God damn it! Toot, tink.
What was another missed opportunity, David? What are the jokes? If you'd written this episode, what jokes would we be doing?
Yeah.
It'll be in the audio.
Oh,
I'll do it as an audio drop in the episode.
Damn.
you're trying
you
to
hear
get
that?
you're trying to get new listeners starting
Trying
with
to-
us.
Trying to get us to listen to our own stuff.
Right?
All right.
So Matt, you have the only redemption.
I do. Oh, geez, I'm not prepared. Let me go look.
Don't remove home movies. Don't remove home movies. Don't remove home movies.
I know what I wanted. I sent you guys a Wikipedia link
Oh.
to Galdor and the Golden Lance, I think. Did anybody
Oh
look at this?
yeah.
Galtar.
Galtar. Hey,
Galtar. and the
Galtar.
Golden Lance. Yeah, this looks like it's actually a almost like an extension of the Barbarian one. Why is my
Ouvra.
brain broken?
Yes, it feels like a very Thundar or
Thundar, yeah. There we go.
He-Man or Conan-esque. Let's see. It ran in 1985 to 86 as part of the Fantastic World of Hanna-Barbera. All right,
Hanna-Barbera.
I want to add that to the list, and I want to make it good.
Well, it's already on the list.
God
Bam.
damn it!
You want to enhance it? You can enhance it.
I'll enhance it.
Okay.
There
I'd
you
like to apply an enhance, please.
Yes, you just need to get that
One
cartoon pump
enhance.
out of your back, and then just pump it up.
Enhance.
We want cartoons 26 hours a day.
Yeah.
All right. So Adam,
Fuckhead.
Me, yes.
tell me what is number 377?
Whoa,
377.
Way
Rounding up, right?
That's
It is 1997 to 2001's Men in Black.
Wait, we go up? I thought we went down.
No, we
Next
go
time.
We run up.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
It was almost Mega Man.
Oh, it would have been so good to be Mega Man.
No, it wouldn't have.
Oh, it would have been so bad.
Men in Black. This is that weird animation style that's a lot like Aeon Flux. That
I remember
weird,
watching
Oh
this
yeah,
show
is it
as a kid.
very wiggly?
I remember enjoying this show as a high schooler.
Okay, that's
So this will be interesting to see as an adult if I watch it and go, what the fuck was I thinking?
53 episodes. That's a sort of a good sign. So like
Yeah.
close to syndication.
Well, it looks like it was 3 years, right? Is that what I just said?
Yeah, it was quite a while.
3 wonderful years.
So number 23.
But has there been any work by the esteemed Mr. William Smith that has survived translation to a new medium?
Oh, goodness. Well, it looks like MIB, the series, episode 23, is The Black Christmas Syndrome. So we're doing
Whoa.
a Christmas episode. And it is season 2 of The Men in Black.
Good. Okay. Everyone knows Christmas episodes always great.
Always the best. Yeah.
Pull out all the stops. I don't have a good feeling about this. I'm concerned.
Me neither.
I'm
So in a
concerned.
sense,
That's
it's
probably
Christmas
bad.
syndrome.
The the fear is setting in.
So who is going to be the victim, David? Or who has earned the honor?
No, let's go with victim. I just rolled and it's me.
Oh, David.
Woohoo!
David, taking one for the team.
Here comes the Men in Black.
Yeah.
Galaxy Defenders.
I'm just glad that I got Bump in the Night. I'm going to enjoy that one.
Oh, I'm excited about that. One of the few that I'm actually looking forward to, non-ironically.
Oh, yeah.
I was looking
Nice.
forward to King Arthur and the Knights of Justice, but very ironically.
Yes, yes. All right, so on a future episode of Amazingly Terrible, we'll be watching Men in Black episode 23. But next week on Amazingly Terrible, it's not week, we're a bi-weekly show. Why do I keep saying next week? Next time on Amazingly Terrible, we'll be watching Mighty Max, Blood of the Dragon, episode 3.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
And it says that's our Halloween episode, too. Interesting.
Wow. Do you?
Ooh, let's make it extra spooky.
Yeah. Didn't he fight monsters, Max?
Well, that's what made him mighty, right?
Yeah.
Am I getting confused with? No. He's the guy
Ben 10.
who is like the male version of Polly Pocket.
Yeah, and he had some sort of horror theme. I have not watched the episode yet, but if I remember the toy, like it was like he'd be in like a skull.
Yeah.
You open up a skull and he would have some sort of adventure.
And he would fight
Whatever.
a public domain monster of some kind, perhaps
Yeah.
a Dracula or a Frankenstein.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think I've ever seen that show, then.
I don't know if I've ever seen the show. I'm just kind of scanning through it right now. Yeah, it looks like it's a public domain style monster. I remember the toy, though, because my sister was of the Polly Pocket age. I was a little older than that, and then Mighty Max was the boys' version
Mhm.
of that toy.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm looking at the episode now.
The
It has Khal
Manny
Drago in it.
Mocket, if you will.
All right, let's close this up here.
No, that's a good joke,
Um,
and you have to laugh at it.
No, I got to bring a bottle
Hey,
upstairs.
you
So-
said no more fake laughing on the show.
Oh,
so,
sorry. You're right. You're right. Can't force you anymore.
per your own edict.
I desperately wanted these, and I was very interested in the show, but I never experienced it or owned any of the toys.
Yeah, neither did I. Like, I was not an owner. Like, again, a little bit older
Mhm.
than the toy demographic for the Polly Pocket, Mighty Max era. My sister had a bunch of them, the Polly Pockets, but yeah,
When did this come out? I feel like I'm missing out on something here.
early 90s.
93, 94? No, I should have been watching this.
It's
weird.
I don't think you're missing anything. I think it was not marketed for us.
Teenagers.
Yeah, it was not marketed for us, the cool kids.
Yeah, we were watching cool shows like Aladdin and
Mm.
Rescue Rangers.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, cool stuff like
this was
that.
for like the 7-year-olds.
We were doing
Fuck
cool
them.
things like hanging out at your house after school.
Yeah.
And talking about Magic the Gathering, 1st
Mhm.
edition.
And
After school specials.
And playing Warcraft on an Apple computer.
yes, a
Yeah.
cracked
Warcraft
version
one.
of Warcraft
That's right.
2.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, good times.
Did you call me?
Or what was that other
Wait,
game?
what'd you kill?
What
Might
was-
and Magic?
Oh yes, man, you loved that game.
Yeah, I did. For nostalgic bullshit associated with video games, I've been Adam.
For reasons unknown, I have been Matt.
I've been David.
For a couple hits of like nostalgia from my childhood, I'm Derek.
Amazingly Terrible is produced by David and Adam. Music by Josh Woodward. Send your email to monotonouslyterrific@amazinglyterrible.com.
What is the Purple Pie Man a metaphor for?
The Purple Pie Man is a metaphor for the unsustainability of capitalism
Mm.
and how the constant advances and attempts to adhere to its practices is ultimately what winds up leading to its destruction.
So it
At
represents
the-
the
at
thing
the
we
hands-
always say it represents.
Yes,
That our
at the hands, but all at the hands of a 6-year-old girl that's fruit themed.
I like the idea that our show is slowly, ever so slowly, creeping towards a crippling indictment of capitalism via the avenue of reviewing children's cartoons.
The best part is that if anybody wants to sponsor us, we will totally take your money
Oh, yeah.
immediately, no questions asked.
Absolutely. Dick pills,
Yep,
hoax cures, anything. We will advertise it.
pillows that are owned by, well, maybe not the My Pillow guy, but anything else